We go YouTube for a Monday afternoon. Just thought I'd bring you some good news and some bad news and then some really good news at the end with maybe a bit of bad news. It's a matter of perspective, I would have thought. This creature you can see on your screen is an effort on a beast monster called something or other Ian Watkins that no one gives a stuff about. Yeah. He was from a group called Lost Prophets. The bad news was that I've got to be so careful what I say on here. Really, really, I mean, it's in the public domain, but we're not allowed to talk openly, are we? He had a predilection for human beings that were very young. In fact, some of them were months old. In fact, the majority of them were months old rather than years old. Let's put it that way. And he got caught after a lot of preambulations and the usual obfuscation. Nobody listening, despite the being flagged up. His ex-girlfriend kept trying to flag it up. Various women that had been unlucky enough to come across his path tried to flag it up with the law and the powers that be, and no one would listen to them. Yes, he was the front man of a group called Lost Prophets, who, before I got old, I was really big into music, and I'd never played heard of them until he was charged in 2013. He was charged in 2012, went down in 2013. Now, the bad news is that he's lasted 10 years, a whole decade, inside a jail within Britain called, is it Wakefield Jail? Which is also colloquially known as Monster Mansion. It's where they house the most hideous of beasts from all, areas of law-breaking activities that have found their asses in your jail. And obviously, even in jail, there's a hierarchy and nobody wants to mix with certain people, of that variety of which this beast here was a sort of kingpin of. But the good news is, well, I mean, it was good news very good news for him. He only went and got himself shut in the bleeding room yesterday, didn't he? Over the weekend, was it Saturday? He did. He went and shut himself in the room with, I don't know, some reports say 3 old lags. Some say 5 old lags. And yes, he was shut in this room, and it was very unfortunate. It was all a terrible misunderstanding. Because what's happened is he's got himself shut in the room. He's obviously fell on something quite a few times around the neck area. And yes, and it took the prison services a number of hours to rescue said fiend. And the bad news is he's now in hospital. Yes, cluttering up the bleeding national health. Bleeding melt. So, but anyway, yes, his group was called the Lost Prophets. Yeah. I think his radar must have been off that day because he weren't prophesying nothing, was he? No! Didn't get that one right, did he? Oh, well. The bad news is he's still bleeding with us, isn't he? Blimmin' beast.